Hello, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we'll be learning about how to create this amazing citation design using Adobe Photoshop. Without much ado, let's get started. We are going to start the design by creating a canvas. So we can achieve this by either using the shortcut of Command N or Control N if you are using a PC, or we can go to File, then New. Now once we do this, or once you press the shortcut, you have this dialog, the New dialog. So it is now time for us to set our canvas. So for the purpose of this video, we are using 20 by 30 inch canvas size. And for the resolution, you can reduce the resolution depending on the performance of your PC. Now once we have our canvas set, it is now time for us to introduce some rulers or some guides to help us design. And we can achieve this with the help of the ruler. So this is the horizontal ruler, this is the vertical ruler. In some cases, the horizontal and the vertical ruler might not be there. And to bring it, either we press Command R or Control R, or we go to View and we come to Rulers. Okay, so once we have our rulers, what we are going to do is we are going to click and drag our rulers. So creating an interval around the work. Alright, now the purpose of this guide is to ensure alignment of our work. Okay, now we are going to start the design. We're going to start by placing an embedded file. So this is how we do it. Hit on File and we go to Place Embedded. Right. Once we click on Place Embedded, we select the targeted file we want to place and hit on Place. Now we are going to scale this up. So let me scale it a little bit up. Okay. Right. This is okay for us. Now after placing this, what we are going to do is we've started creating the background of the work. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to draw a rectangle, and to achieve that I have to use the tool called the rectangular tool, and the shortcut is U. If I press U, you can see it has been selected at the tool side, or I can drag the mouse and click on the tool side, select the rectangular tool or the rectangle tool. So with this done, I'm going to draw a rectangle. So let's say this is okay. Right. Now after doing this, I'm going to change the color of this rectangle. So I can do that by either double clicking this side and changing the color. So I change the color to whatever I like here by double clicking on the shape icon here. Now I'm going to use a gradient for this layer by double clicking this side. Then I go to Gradient Overlay. Then I select a gradient of my choice. So for this situation, I have a gradient created. So these are the hex. Okay. Now, after doing this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a duplicate of this layer. Before that, let me turn off the stroke. Alright, to achieve this property channel or panel, you can go to View, then Enable Property. So what this does is, whenever I click on any layer, it shows the property of that layer. So you can see when I clicked on this, I have its property here. When I click on that, I also have its property here. I'm going to duplicate this layer by hitting Command J or Control J. Make sure you select the layer, then you press Command J. If you are using a Mac, if you are using a PC, press Control J. Once we do that, we can see we have two layers here. So this is the original layer, this is the copied layer. So the copied layer is on top of this layer. Now, this is what I'm going to do. Make sure the move tool is selected, that is V, shortcut is V. Then I move this slightly up. And after I come back to the shape beneath, then turn off the effect. Once I do that, the effect of the gradient is off. Now I can choose a different color for this shape by double clicking inside the shape, then choose the color or any color of choice. So let's see. Okay, right. Now after doing this, we have this so far. But to make the design more catchy, I'm going to apply some textures to this work. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to place another embedded here. You can achieve that by dragging and dropping. I prefer to place an embedded. So File and place embedded. This time around, let me place this image. After placing this embedded, what I'm going to do is I'm going to position it where I want. So in this case, this is where I want it to be. Let me flip it for the dark side to also come to the left side. So let me flip it. Okay, so I have it flipped. After doing this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a layer mask of this shape so that I hide the unwanted pixels. So the work of the layer mask is it is used to hide and reveal pixels. So with I make sure the layer is selected, then I press Command on the keyboard, select inside this thermal. You can see the selection has been created. I go back to the citation or the image I placed, and I click on this side, the layer mask. Right. So the next step is I want to blend it. So I'll select the layer, make sure it's selected. Then with the blending modes, I'm going to use multiply. I'm not done yet. Now we can see the edges are harsh. This side, they are very, very harsh. So with the help of our brush B, or you can see it here B, make sure the mask is selected because we are using the mask to hide. After it being selected, then I increase the brush size and the flow, reduce it a little bit, and we are going to blend. So black height, using black to blend the side to make the edges very soft. That is what I'm doing here. Alright. For doing this, what I'm going to do now is I want to place the logo of the church. So let's assume I'm working with the Presbyterian Church of Ghana. I'm going to blend it to this side. So I go to File, then place an embedded. Let's say this is what I want to use for this one. This is it. Then scale it a little bit up. Okay. Let's go a little bit bigger. Okay. This is okay. Then I hit on enter. Alright, after doing this, what I'm going to do is with the same approach, I'm going to use layer masks to hide some of the pixels. So make sure, press Command, then the selection is being created, and I go to mask to hide the pixels. Now, once we have this being created, what we are going to do is we are going to reduce the opacity. So let's reduce it down. We want it to match. So something 18 is okay. Then after it is too harsh, so we select the pixel and we apply some Gaussian blur here. So filter blur and Gaussian blur filter. So what we are doing now is want it to blur and enter. That is what we are doing here. This is okay. So hit on. So Gaussian blur will apply to the place layer. So we have this achieved now. Now this step, what we are going to do is we are going to organize our work. So before I organize, let me brush some edges a little bit. Before we organize our work, organization simply means we have to group our work to make sure we can identify them very easily. So here, and do this by again on select on the targeted layers I want to group. So I want to group all the items on top here. Starting from the layer this side, up, I press shift, then up, select all, then I press command change to group it. So I'm going to leave this as top blue. That's the top layer for this side. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to lock it for now, since I'm not going to use anything here. Now, if I lock it, nothing here moves when I click. So I'm going to do same for this background. So I click on it, lock. Now you see nothing is moving. For uniformity, what I'm going to do is now I'm going to group these and these. I'm going to group it as one. We'll call it as the DJ. That is the background, and I lock it. So I have the background created. This is my background, and I have it locked. It is not moving. We are moving on with the design, and this time around, I'm going to use the rectangular tool. This is here. Then I'm going to draw a rectangle. So something like this is okay. Then I change the color to white. Make sure I have no stroke or no outline. After, I want some round edges. So if you are using an older version of Photoshop, after you can do that at the properties here. So you can see it here. You can perform that action by doing that thing. Okay. So what we are going to do here is, after doing this, we are going to bring some shadows to this just created rectangular shape. We're going to bring some shadows. So we double click an empty side. Then we have the layer style box, and we go to drop shadow. Right. Once we click on drop shadow and see shadow, we have some shadow round. So I'm going to darken it a little by increasing the opacity. This is okay for me. So the size, you can move or play around with the size to a preferred one of your choice. So in my case, this is okay for me. I hit on enter. So after achieving this, next step is, let me bring my rulers. So my guides, I'm bringing them back. Command J. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to place a texture on this shape, and I clip it. So let's get some textures. So we can download some textures online. Let me go to pin interest. We have a lot of textures here. So we look through the one that we are okay with, we choose. So which one? Let me go for this one. I think I like this. This is also not bad. Let me go for that. Let me go for this one. So I download it. Now I'm going to place the downloaded image here. So I go to File, then, make sure Photoshop is selected. File. Then I place Embedded. So this time around, it's a downloaded file. I hit on Download. Is it this one? Was it downloaded? Let me check. Oh, download image. Okay, it was downloaded. I think this is it. Alright, that was it. Scale it up. And after scaling, I press on enter. This is what I have. What I'm going to do is, I want to create a clipping mask, so I want this exact shape of the rectangular shape we created. So I press on Command, make selection of the shape, then I come to the image I just placed to create a mask. So I have this now. Then let me reduce the opacity a little. So this opacity is okay. Now what I'm going to do this time is I'm going to group these two. So I'm going to group these two and name it as the text box. That is where the text will be. Then after, I bring an elliptical tool. So the elliptical tool, the ellipse tool, and draw a circle. So make sure you select, you press on Shift for a precise circle. This is okay. After the cycle, I'm going to change the color to white for now. We'll come back to you. Then let me take off the stroke. Let me use yellow so that we can see what we are doing. Oh, this color here. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to create a selection of this cycle we just did. Then I go to Select, Modify, then Expand. So I'm going to expand the selection a little bit. So 30 is small. So let's see. Let me add 90 selections to it. So Select, Modify. Let me expand it by 100. And I hit on OK. 100 is okay. Let me add 20. So select, modify, expand. Let me add let's say 30 pixels. Let me add 30. 30 is fine. So what I'm going to do here is, with the selection, I click on the text box group, then hit on layer mask. Now once I did that, I have to invert the selection. So I have to do that by pressing Command I or Control I. We are using a Mac. Right, now I have this achieved. Now let me hide the reasons. Okay, so let's continue. So here it's now time for us to add our text and other stuff. So let me change this to picture or image. So let me use image. So this is our image, where we will place our image. I can change it to height. So image for now, height. Then let me bring my text. So with a text, I can bring some guides here. So let me bring a 1-inch guide around the way. So I go to the text. So this is the text, and select all text. I copy, come back to Photoshop, then with the text to T, there's a T. I come back, then draw this point. What I'm going to do is I'm going to paste Ctrl V. Now I have to change the font style and the size of the text I posted, so I can do that at the properties tab. Note, before the lesson we said that whatever layer we select, it comes with its own property. So I have this, but I prefer to do that with the character box or the character panel. So you can get this here, go to window, then you ensure character is selected. You have this. So we are going to change the size to something smaller. So let's say 18. 18 brought everything up. Then we change the font. There's a huge font. I want a normal font. This font, I normally use this font a lot. Right, this is okay. Then change the color to something black, not pure black. So let's say 2121 or some 2929 or 2C2C. This is somehow 24 or 24. Put on OK. Then it's now time for us to arrange our work. Or arrange this wall. Let me zoom it a little bit up. Okay. Excuse me. What did I do? Let's press the space bar. Have it back. Let me confirm. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change certain things about this, the alignment, the formatting. So I make sure it is selected by double clicking inside the text. And I go to layout and I choose justify left. So I'm justifying my work to the left side. Come back to character and I'm going to work on my spacing. Okay. So for now, what we are going to do is, now that we have our text, let me scale it down. Now that we have our text, it's time for us to bring the name of the pasta. So in my situation, this is the name of my pasta. Let me copy the name of my pasta. Paste it. I'm going to change the font size and the font to different fonts. So let me use this font. Choose 50. So 50 is small. 80. It is too big. So 75. And change the color to teal blue. Something like that. This is okay. Then position it a little bit more. So let me add some space. This is okay. Then what I'm going to do now is select this and I'm going to bring it beneath. Alright, so let me bring the equal. Right, so gradually we are building our work Now it is time for us to bring the citation, blah 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 blah. So it will be this side. So what I'm going to do is change this to something. And this time around, let's add a stroke of 20. Let's go for 40. Change the color to, let's make the stroke 50. That's what we have. Now let's group this. Let's group it. Give it a name of citation. Have this now. Next, let's bring it a little bit up. Let's bring our title of the work, that is church logo, the church name. Get rid of this. Use this to 28. 28 is to 25. So we have this. We have achieved this so far. Right. Now it is now time for us to place the picture of our poster. So I go to File, then Place Embedded. Then this is my poster. Bring it up. I'm going to clip this to the shape we created earlier on. So I press Alt or Option if you are using a Mac and click it to create a clipping mask, or you can do that by right clicking and go to create clipping mask. So we have it being clipped. So we want it to be visible a little to have attention. So we are going to add a little bit of stroke. We want it to get our attention and add a little bit of yellow because we're playing around with the yellows. Alright, after this we have to work with the picture, so we can apply camera or filters, levels, curves. Yeah, so let me work on the levels. Take it to the image and let me add some curves, a little bit of highlight to brighten the image. Then boom, got this. Got this now. This is how citation was created. Alright, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave your comments. And stay tuned till the next video.